This podcast may contain adult language and themes. Listener discretion is advised.
It's hard to explain, but it's like, when I see pictures of myself, if I like the picture, it's almost like my brain separates it as being a different person. It's really, really hard for me to be like, that's me.
That might be, like, partially, like, a self-critical thing going on, a subconscious kind of thing going on. Maybe, because, like, I feel like when it comes to writing, I'm, like, arrogantly self-confident. Like, I'm annoying. I could annoy you with how confident I am about my writing. But, like, podcast editing, graphic design, illustration, anything else, yeah, I'm kind of like, woo, yeah, we should work on that one again. And, like, if I do something that I genuinely think is awesome, like, I have a hard time accepting it. Like, oh, that must have been a fluke.
Yeah.
That was just a fluke. I didn't, yeah, that wasn't good because of my skill or anything. That must have been a fluke, yeah.
That's literally me. So I've been doing, like, this is gonna sound so, like, weird, okay? Cheesy, but I've been doing, like, modeling courses.
Nice.
Specifically for, like, clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I was like, I'm just gonna go through these courses, and I'm learning how to pose myself, which is really weird because some of the poses don't work for me because I'm, my joints are hypermobile.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the poses look really awkward on me, but I'm, like, finding my own that actually really work, and then I look at a picture and I'm like, it was just because you got me whenever I was, like, in motion.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's definitely not because I've learned this new skill or anything.
Do you have you mastered Blue Steel yet?
What is that?
Okay, that's a generation gap. That's all right. Sorry, that's a Zoolander reference.
Arnar.
Yeah. Questions. I have a few.
Ooh.
I think you guys are, like, the most knowledgeable about Japanese fashion in my circle. Like, I know nothing about J fashion at all. Except for this, like, I'm wearing a black leather jacket and a pompadour. It's a good thing this is an audio podcast, but yeah.
I don't think leather jackets are ever gonna go out of style.
That's true, yeah. Have you considered the fact you might be in your emo phase?
Well, that's kind of a slight subtle jab at the rockabilly. The guys in Harajuku the guys that'll congregate in the park, dancing to, like, Elvis and whatever, doing the old boogie woogie. Yeah.
I actually didn't know their name, but I know what you're talking about.
Like, I expect them to be gangsters or whatever, but then they start boogie woogieing, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're cool.
Didn't know they vibed like that.
Oh, they get down. Yeah. So, usually I try to prepare myself a little bit before these things, read an article or two, but, like, because I'm so out of my depth and because you two are so the opposite of being out of depth with this topic, I thought I would just ask you questions and try to learn from you as we go along.
This is exciting.
We kind of talked a little bit on DM about what to talk about.
I made some notes. They're not many, but I thought maybe you'd have, like, some questions and stuff, so I kind of thought about, like, what you might have questions about, whether it be styling, or the fashion itself. I'm ready.
Yeah, because, like, I do want to make the people that are, the people that were like, hey, you're going to do a fashion episode, I want to make them happy. I want to make, people who are just getting into it for the first time, J fashion curious folks. I want to appeal to all audiences. So, don't feel too much pressure. We're going to have a good time. So, when I was in the US, I watched this movie called, in English, I think, I gotta get the name right, Kamikaze Girls. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kamikaze Girls, right? In Japanese, it's Shimotsu no Monogatari. And the two main characters are, like, a Yankee girl played by Anna Tsuchiya. Yankee being, like, the female equivalent of boogie woogie black
Mhm.
leather and pompadours. And the other main character was a Lolita. She was like a gothic Lolita fashion
Mm.
enthusiast, played by Fukuda.
Fukara.
Oh, what was her
Fukara
name?
Kyoko.
Fukada Kyoko. Yeah. And she would take the train from her bumblefuck nowhere little town in Japan to Tokyo to go to. You guys know the name of the store?
Baby the Stars Shine Bright.
Baby, the stars shine bright. I thought that shit was fictional.
Nope, that is a real brand.
Yep, that's actually the brand that I first saw and got a magazine of, and that like led me into like J fashion.
Oh, where did you see it? Where did you see it?
So my very first friend that I ever made when I came into Japan, she was like, I dress up like in Lolita on the weekends, and I was like, let me see. And then she brought the magazine that she was in, and I was looking through it, and I saw
wow.
her, and I was like, this is awesome. And from that point on, I've been interested.
Nice.
Yeah, because I was just walking down the street in Tokyo one day, and I was like, what the fuck?
So, funny that you should mention the movie because it was recently, I think a couple days ago, it was the 20th anniversary of the movie premiering.
Wow, yeah.
And like some people had like a huge celebration.
It's worthy of celebration, yeah.
In actual Shimotsuma.
Oh my god.
Because like the town like celebrates the movie, and I think Anatsuya showed
Oh
up.
my god, that's great.
I don't know. I saw footage, but it might have been from like before. But like they had like a huge celebration.
I gotta see this. I gotta check this out later.
Oh wait, yeah, like Anatsuya and the original like the writer, Nobara Takemoto showed up to that celebration.
That is amazing.
And they reopened Just Go for a limited
I thought
time.
Just Go was fake too.
Yeah, no, Just Go is what Eon used to be.
Right.
So it's like a sign of the times, I guess.
I was just like, Just Go sounds fake. Just Go sounds like a movie, like a movie department store. You know what I mean? But anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely, everybody out there, check out that movie, Kamikaze Girls, Shimotsuma Monogatari. It's a great movie for the whole family. Yeah, so let's jump into that. Let's just go right in. Like how did you guys get acquainted? Blep went into it a little bit, but yeah, like how did you get into J fashion?
I guess for me, it was through Nana, the manga and anime.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I saw it and I really liked like the style, and so I looked into it and found Lolita. And then I was also interested in Paradise Kiss, which is by the same like mangaka, which featured also a lot more different styles that are all under like the J fashion umbrella. Yeah, so from there I just went down the rabbit hole, and here I am.
What is Lolita, by the way? Like, it feels weird to say Lolita all the time because of like
yeah,
the West. Like it was a novel, right?
It feels like you're setting up for a trap here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm like, I need context.
So
because I'm not that kind of guy, guys. Please.
I actually refrain from saying the word Lolita, and I use Rolita, like the Japanese pronunciation. And there's even like some Japanese people who are trying to get it more common to say like with the switch the L and the R, so like Lolita or Rolita, but I don't really know like how popular that's getting. That was just in a small circle of people that I knew personally. But like long story short, I consider it to be like the umbrella term for most cutesy or like extra J fashion, because people are going to use it for that no matter what. Like I can be out in, I don't know, like Gyaru or something, and people are like, "Oh, I love your Lolita outfit." And I'm like, wrong, but thank you.
Right. And what's Gyaru?
Okay, so
Gyaru gal.
Yeah, Gyaru or gal is like like think about, there's actually a trend coming back recently, and it's been going by the term Bimbo-core.
Oh my god.
And it's pretty much like Y2K Bimbo-core with super dramatic makeup and super dramatic hair. It depends on what type though, because Gyaru, again, is an umbrella term for many other subgenres.
Mm-hmm. Are they calling it Bimbo-core themselves? Like,
Yeah, most of them
is this
are.
a reclamation? Is this like a reclamation thing?
So, there's this girl on TikTok who has gotten really popular by wearing, like, bikinis and going out and just, like, doing daily things and being, like, really funny online, and she calls it Bimbo-core,
Mm-hmm.
and from that point on, it pretty much has taken off to where, like, any sort of, like, tracksuit, like, think, like, Paris Hilton sort of styles, stuff like that, that's now called, like,
Mm-hmm.
Bimbo-core, but, you know, most you'll find that a
Wow.
trend though, because the styles that I like, Ryosangata and Jirai Kei, both are terms that were used to belittle women and make them feel less than, that have been
Mm-hmm.
reclaimed for this fashion.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mhm.
Okay.
One thing I'd
I
like to
did
add
not know
there.
how much I didn't know.
Yeah,
Sorry, go
that's
ahead.
okay. One thing I'd like to add there first to like the naming of Lolita, and I feel like in English speaking circles, a lot of people prefer to call it EGL, which stands for Elegant Lolita.
Yeah.
So that's like an alternative term to kind of go away from like a name or a terminology that might
Mhm.
cause misunderstandings. And like as for like
Could you say that again? EGL,
Mhm.
was it?
Elegant Gothic Lolita.
Ah, okay. That fits Baby the Stars Shine Bright, I tell you what. that fits.
Like on like Gyaru and like basically like what Blep had said about like reclaiming things like terms that were used to belittle women, like the kawaii fashion in general, like mostly started as a way to rebel against like the patriarchy and like the
Mhm.
standards, and you know that's why people modify their sailor uniforms. That's why it's like hyper feminine. It's like to break out of this like back in I want to say maybe the 80s and 90s, like things were much
Mm.
stricter for women, and that was like kind of a
Mhm.
way to kind of break those constraints of fashion and self-expression, I want to say.
That's exactly right, and that was really well said.
Thank you.
Yeah. So a little background, just a little background. Like if you ever go into like a high school classroom, you might like look at the bulletin board and like see a flyer that gives out like regulations on when female students are allowed to wear long socks and short socks. So like when
Yep.
people are talking about like the restrictiveness of how women and femme presenting people are allowed to present themselves, yeah,
Yeah.
they ain't joking, homie.
It's
That's
even,
serious
like, bad to
business.
the point that even if your hair is a natural color, but it's slightly different from other students, you will have to
Yeah.
dye it in some
They make you
places.
dye your hair black.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Even if your nails naturally, like, grow long, they're very strict, you have to cut them a certain way. Uh, some places like, if you're talking, like, schools, some schools offer a little bit of self-expression. So they could, like, have a little bit of makeup on, or they don't have to dye their hair if their hair's naturally lighter. But for the most part, most of the schools that I know of and, like, that my friends have taught at or, that I've heard about that friends have graduated from were very, very strict, specifically with the girls.
Yeah, and there's either
Right,
account that
right,
takes like
right.
anonymous anonymous submissions for like really strict school rules. And you'll see people submit like, oh, they check your underwear to make sure it's like a certain color. Or like,
Mhm,
Oh
mhm.
God.
yeah,
I was gonna leave that alone.
oh,
I wasn't
sorry,
gonna say
bring it
anything.
out.
No, no, no.
DJ fashion.
I didn't want to be the one to say
Yeah,
it.
and like, and not just schools, it's also like at workplaces that have uniforms. Like,
Yep.
my first job here was supposed to be at a hotel front desk, and I quit before I started because the dress code for women was 2 pages, and the dress code for men was half
Mm,
a page, and all it did was shower and shave. But for women, it's like, oh, you have
Yep.
to do your hair a certain way. You can only wear like 20 denier tights in the summer and 80 denier in the winter. Like, it's super, super specific. And for what? Like, literally, why does it matter?
Yep.
hold up. It took half a page.
Shower and
it took
shave.
half a
That's it.
page to explain.
I do see that like some schools are like offering options, like if female students want to wear pants or like blazers, they can. Like
Mhm.
things are starting to become a little bit more lax, but I feel like it's still not enough, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. So, Sam, I want to ask you something.
Uh-huh.
I want to know what your mental image of like EGL or what we were calling Lolita earlier is.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I've been in Japan for a long time, and like even before I got here, I was exposed to like I mean, I wasn't like super into fashion or whatever, but kamikaze girls definitely
Right.
helped me see EGL as like not as like cosplay, right? Like it's not
Yeah, right.
it doesn't seem like cosplay anyway. Like it seems like something that people are into or whatever. It's just it's a form of self-expression, right? And sometimes you see sometimes you'll see women walking through the train station in like a full production Gothic Lolita, poofy, frilly, colorful dress, lots of pastels, sometimes with the heels, sometimes with the bonnets.
I love the
bonnets.
Yeah. Any excuse to hold a parasol,
Not me.
they will
I
take.
hate holding umbrellas. I hate holding parasols.
I wish men would accept the parasol in the summer, because like Japanese summers recently have not been friendly.
God.
With like the decline of trees in general. Yep.
Welcome to Tokyo, everybody.
So like you don't really have a general like a specific idea of like that it's just one thing. Like
well, I guess yeah. I mean, like I think my whole mental image is Fukada Kyoko in that movie, and like every time I see poofy skirt, sometimes like platform heels, lots of frills, lace, a bonnet, and a parasol. Like
I love it.
Yeah, like that's the image in my head. So like anything that veers too far from that won't register to me as EGL.
That's actually a really nice image though, because a lot of people don't really have that open of a mind when it comes to J fashion.
Yeah.
And they don't like talk about the work that goes into it like you have. Like you were talking about all the little aspects, like the bonnet and like the lace, all of that stuff. Not only is it expensive, but it's hard to lug all that around.
Yeah, and it's hard to take care of.
It is, yeah.
A big part of Kamikaze Girls, yes, I'm going to keep mentioning that, like they're paying me to
your
record
point
this,
of
by
reference.
the way.
You're celebrating.
We finally got sponsorship.
From Kamikaze Girls specifically.
Right. Baby, the stars shine bright.com. But yeah, in the movie, like a major plot point is the production of these dresses, and like how like Fukada Kyoko's character is like a prodigy at sewing, and she's so fantastic at it that she makes the owner the owner wants her to work for him, basically. And so you see a lot of her putting in, like, she doesn't study for shit. She doesn't study.
She just does hand embroidery like it's nothing.
Right. That's the only thing she
honestly
does. And yeah. So I think that movie single-handedly like disabused me of like a lot of stereotypes that a person might have, like, oh, they're dressed like babies, or like, oh, they're dressed like they're dressed in frou-frou dresses or whatever. It did a great job of humanizing the people that dress up like that and love that culture. So
that's really awesome.
I'm really glad. I'm pretty sure, like, I feel like that's definitely one of the goals that the movie set out to do, and I'm really happy that they chose to cast two very mainstream people, but have but
Mhm.
like, you know, Tsuchiya Anna and Fukara Kyoko, like they're both super popular, super famous, but they have their specific fan bases. So I feel like that really helped widen the reach of this like particular movie, and therefore the
Mhm.
Right.
message. Yeah.
It really is like just like also like I consider myself a fan of cinema, and like the director absolutely knocked it out
Yeah.
of the park. This like there's a birth scene and like there's a birth scene and it's hilarious and it just pulls you in, and like I don't know, man, like it's hard to pull off an entertaining birth scene, I think. But this whole movie is fucking gold, you know. So definitely worth a watch if you're into Japan in any
Speaking
capacity, I
of
think.
movies, there's another movie that recently came out that features Lolitas. It's called Happiness. They've it
Mm.
Oh.
features, I think, the brand Innocent World. I don't know if they feature it or if they just like have. I think it features the protagonist going to an Innocent World, which is a Lolita brand, like a store,
Mhm.
and then they have the Lolita model Aoki Misako act as the store staff in the movie. So I
Cool.
think it's also
Nice.
created by the same person, Nobara Takemoto. So a lot of the leaders went to
Mm.
see it on opening day. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard some pretty good things. So that's another movie to check out if you're interested in like Lolita fashion, I feel like.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about brands. I don't know anything aside from Baby the Stars Shine Bright, and even that I didn't know was a real thing for a long time. So we got Baby. What else we got?
Okay, full disclosure. Full disclosure, most of the brands I know are Ryosangata, Tenshi Kaiwai, or like
I
Jirai
got the
Kei. Like
Lolita side
that's
of things.
that's
I've
Mhm.
gotcha.
oh, okay. Where I'm like Gyaru's that side of things, like what Gyaru has like, you know, turned
Kind of
to.
evolved into, yeah.
A lot of people I might get slaughtered for that, saying that, but it is true. The Gyaru has kind of like, you know, evolved, and Jirai Kei and Ryosangata are both like tiny babies under the Gyaru
Oh
umbrella.
boy. I don't know what you just said,
Are
but
you
it
ready to
did
get
sound
canceled,
spicy.
Sam? Yeah, are you ready to get so canceled this week?
I'm gonna lose my sponsorship.
If we're talking brands, do you want to start it off?
Sure. So Lolita, since we started with Baby to Start Shine Bright, I would say there's like the big three, and then there's a few other brands that are on or around the same like scale. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're all technically in the grand scheme of things small businesses. Like none of them are like huge corporates. None
Right.
of them have like
Which one?
hundreds of employees or whatever.
Which one
They're
is the
maybe
Kendrick
like
Lamar of the big three? Because that's the only one
what was that?
worth. I'm sorry. Which one?
Wait, what?
Which one is the Kendrick Lamar of the big three? Because that's the only one worth wearing, I think. I'm sorry.
Metamorphose for sure.
Cool. Okay.
So, the big three, in my opinion, are Angelic Pretty, Baby the Star Shine Bright, and
Mhm.
Metamorphose.
Hmm. Which one is the
Angelic
Drake?
Pretty
Mhm.
is the one.
Which one is the
The
Drake?
Drake. Oh gosh.
We need more blood.
Ooh.
We haven't had enough blood.
Uh
I have my opinion. My opinion, everybody. Probably Angelic Pretty.
I'm inclined to agree.
We are officially in trouble, everybody. Everybody. We are all in trouble now.
We're all getting canceled.
Anyway, so Angelic Pretty is the one that's like mainly pastels. It's got the super sweet, like fantasy, dreamy, frilly, candy like
Like
Hime Hime
Lolita,
stuff.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super pastels, like adorable, like fluffy animal prints and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's mainly gonna be
Mhm.
Angelic Pretty. Baby the Starshine Bright has like prints and stuff, and they do go on the cuter side, but they use a lot more like they do very well with like their solid color designs and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you saw in Kamikaze Girls, it's got the lace placement, the embroidery, and just like all of the design is mostly like in the construction of the garment rather than the print. And Metamorphose, oh, I love them so much. They're the first brand to consistently make plus size pieces. They're the first brand to offer full English customer support and international shipping. You can email them if something's out of stock. They'll find it in the store and they'll be like, "Here it is," and now they send you an invoice on PayPal and you can just buy it like that. Like, it's so customer friendly. I love them so much. They have really like some silly prints. They have a lot of prints with like teddy bears and stuff. They use more like, I don't want to say jewel tones, but more like saturated colors than Angelic Pretty. It's still on the very cutesy, sweeter side, but they also make like some like gothic looking pieces and stuff. And they make a lot of like wafu, which is like kimono inspired Lolita. That's one thing they're really, really famous for.
Interesting.
It's really pretty.
So they'll have like blouses, but like that have like kimono sleeves and the kimono collar. And then they'll have dresses that are like inspired from like a lot of Taisho women designs and styles. Which I think is a super interesting fusion of styles. Anyway, there's my PR
I
on
agree.
They're super inclusive,
That's
super
so cool.
open-minded, and
talk a little more about inclusivity and stuff, like body sizes, consideration for skin tones and things like that.
Yes. So the thing with Metamorphose, I probably mentioned this earlier, but they use a lot more saturated colors. So which is a lot better if you're trying to dress people of different skin tones. Because then the garment kind of speaks for itself and doesn't rely on the person's skin color to stand out. Whereas if you're only pastels, even like the line art and your print is pastels, it's gonna look super washed out on somebody like that has a darker skin tone. Yeah. And for Metamorphose, like their standard, what they call like their regular sizing, the bust measurement goes up to 120 by default, which is a lot larger than most of the other brands and most brands in Japan in general. Like for reference, a lot of the brands don't go up to 100 even centimeters in the bust. So like going up to 120 on their standard sizing is a lot. And then their plus size goes up to 140, and then they have a plus size, which is even like bigger than that. So they really have a lot of people who are really supporting like their size range and all of that.
That's what's up.
That is awesome. I actually wasn't aware of the plus size.
Oh, the thing about their plus size though is they usually sell it international only.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind of sad, but I understand.
Yeah, no, I
Like
get
when you're
it.
thinking about like manufacturing. Sorry, I'm going into a spiel, but when you think about like manufacturing and like working with a factory and like like scaling things up for like the sizing and all of that, it kind of makes sense to not have super like flexibility with the larger sizes if you think about like demand and all of that.
Yeah. Like, so we were talking about brands earlier, and for my side of the style, there are 3 main brands as well. Well, actually, there's quite a few now, but my 3 main are, there is Liz Lisa, who I feel is, at the moment, like, the top one that everyone knows, everyone likes. They drop a lot of really cute, like, seasonal outfits, so every season there's, like, a new, I don't want to call it a theme, but it's kind of like a theme. Like there's a specific shade of a color that is the most popular, you know? And second to that, I would say is Ank Rouge. Now, I might get roasted for how I said that because I've only ever read it. But I think that's how it's pronounced, Ank Rouge. And then behind that, there's actually 2, I would say 3 others that are really, really like neck and neck at the moment. Dear My Love is one that is really awesome. They actually have pretty good inclusive sizes. They have a lot of really nice colors. They also have different like genres. They have their umbrella company, which is like Dear My Love. And then they have like Dear My Love Rose, which is more like everyday office wear and for the everyday person who still wants to be in that style, but maybe they have restrictions at work. and so they can't like fully express it there. And they even have like Dear My Love like a kid's version, so like you can match if you have like a kid. I think that's so cute. And then there's Mars and NOÉMIE, and those I think are the main like brands. Personally, my favorite is Liz Lisa. I just find that their and NOÉMIE, their stuff just fits me better. Unfortunately, even if you're thin but you have a little bit of boobage, they don't really accommodate for that, so you kind of have to have more sizes so you can put stuff on.
Yeah, my impression of Liz Lisa is that they were kind of the first to really put like elastics in a lot of their designs. So
Yeah.
that really made it a lot more accessible for a lot of people who wanted to try out
Mhm.
the style.
Yeah, their elastic is actually really good too because I can get a free size like top and it still fits me,
Oh,
which
that's
a
amazing.
free size, yeah, and free size on any other brand will not. I cannot get it over
Yeah.
the booby loobies.
Yeah.
So
The struggle.
it's yeah, and oh, let me tell you, there is nothing more embarrassing than being in Harajuku in a changing booth and you are sweating, you are fighting for your
Oh
life, and
god.
your boots are being squished. You are pretty
Oh
much
god,
you are pretty
yeah.
much, like, in a binder by the time you get it on.
Yeah.
So, I'm very happy that, like, Liz Lisa NOÉMIE actually has quite a good, like, size range because their small to medium is a pretty big jump, but most of their stuff is adjustable. So, like, if you get a one piece, the back has, like, a tie on the back so you can make it
Oh.
tighter or yeah. Yeah, they're really good. Dear My Love just has amazing sizes, period. Like, you don't really have to have, like, adjusting stuff because you just take your measurements and
Yeah.
they probably have
Yeah,
some.
Dear My Love, if I remember correctly, they have a Dear My Love whip, which is like their plus size line.
Yep.
And they
Yep,
actually
yep.
have plus size models, like modeling all of their
Yes.
clothes, and it's so much easier to shop when you can see it on
Not just that,
someone and not just, this is the bigger version of whatever the model's wearing.
right. They also have the models have 2 I think there's 3 plus size models, and they all have very
Mhm.
different body
Mhm.
shapes. So, that's awesome to see, but not just that, they don't limit the plus size models to being on the Dear My Love whip.
Yeah, like they're free to model for wherever.
Yeah, and, like, when Dear My Love posts a drop, they automatically put the, like, plus size sizes and the plus size models in there, and I'm obsessed with
I
that. I
love it.
love
And I
that.
think they also list like the model's measurements on the
Yeah, they
page
do.
so you can clearly reference like compare the model's like body type and the proportions to your own to see which
Mhm.
size would fit best.
It's not necessarily J Fashion, but another brand that's been doing that recently has been Vina of the Valley.
Oh, I've heard of her
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I haven't bought anything yet. It's, like, again, very small business, so obviously the prices
Yeah.
are higher because, like, it's quality stuff, plus it's only, like, I think 1 person
I
running
think
all of
so
it.
too.
So, I'm sure that that's, like, it's money well spent, I'm sure, I just don't have it.
Yeah.
90% of what I actually have is either secondhand or I had to put it on a payment plan.
Let's
Felt.
so
Felt.
number one,
Sam has questions.
number one, number one. This is the longest a man has gone without speaking in podcast history. I just want that recognition. Thank you very much.
Hallelujah.
Number two, yeah, let's talk about price ranges because again, I have no idea how much this stuff costs. So I figure people
Ooh.
in the genre
Again,
Ooh.
in that culture would know, but enlighten us.
I feel like this is just Sam gets Pengu and Blep canceled podcast.
So, I guess when talking about price range, if you're looking at just retail prices, Lolita is pretty damn expensive, especially during and
Mhm.
post-COVID when like manufacturing costs have gone up so much. Um,
Yeah.
you're looking at least 30,000 yen for a dress.
Ooh.
Sometimes you're just under that.
Mhm.
But those are typically like the lucky pack ones.
Yeah, for the
Wait,
more
what's a lucky
Gyaru's
pack?
Oh, like Fukubukuro.
Lucky bag. Ah, okay, Fukubukuro. Okay.
Fukubukuro, like
Okay.
Fukubukuro, yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we're not going to go into that, but you guys
For, like,
can at home can look that up yourselves. Okay. All right. Sorry, I cut you off.
I recommend it.
Get it.
But like for my side of things, like where I usually shop, so Liz Lisa, I went in person and got my first Liz Lisa setup on New Year's, and it was a sweater, a skirt, and some stockings, and altogether that was like Sanman, so like 30,000 about. And then I went to Ank Rouge for my birthday this month, and it was a little more than that because instead of stockings, I got shoes. So I got a long shirt, a skirt, and some shoes, and it was about, again, Sanman. So it was in America, adding the shipping cost, it's gonna be about $350 if you want to order. I have a friend who's interested, so I keep her updated on the prices.
Yeah.
So about $350 if you want to buy directly from them. If I mean, we're talking about being sponsored. If someone wants to sponsor me, dear my love, hello.
Why don't you get your own podcast? Okay, like I'll take the sponsorship.
Metamorphose.
They have the best prices for international shoppers, honestly. Dear my love does, because they don't add the price from shipping it from their warehouse to the main place that they do the holding and then shipping it out. They ship it directly from the warehouse, so it's a little bit less expensive for shipping.
Cool.
I also feel like Dear My Love, like the company that owns them, I think they're the same company that owns Yume Tembo or Dream which is a brand a lot of like gyarus from maybe 10 years ago are familiar with. And they sell on Rakuten and they shipped internationally directly from Rakuten. So I feel like they might be more comfortable and more experienced in shipping internationally. So that might be why they're
I
a
think
lot
so too.
easier to shop from overseas. And
I think so too. And it's hard, like, because like you said at the beginning, most of these, actually all the brands that we've named are not like big corporate brands. They don't even have like big corporate offices with like all these employees. It's like the designers, the people who deal with it, and then like the workers at the store. And obviously like the warehouse, but
yeah,
that's really small for a fashion brand, especially ones that are so
you're looking
popular.
at maybe like a handful of people in the atelier, and then like warehouse, they're usually just like part-time workers. Like
And I don't even know if, like, are the warehouses even owned by them, or are they just like through the
I have no
warehouse?
idea. It probably depends on the brand, but I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, J fashion is quite expensive, especially if you want to do things also like Decora.
Ooh,
That's one we haven't talked about yet.
What is
Decora? You have to buy. Oh no!
Decora.
Sam, no.
Listen, I watched one movie. Okay.
That's true. They didn't have Decora in Kamikaze Girls.
Like, if I had to explain it, I would say it's a whole bunch of like accessories is the main key. A lot of people do themed Decora where like they have like a color theme, or they do rainbow, or they have like a specific character theme, but it's as many like accessories as pretty much you can fit on your body. And like you style it as, like I said, like to a theme usually. It's very cute. They also are the ones who kind of started the whole like band-aids on the nose with a whole bunch of stickers on your face. Like that's where that comes from. And like lots of hair clips. Some people actually have wigs instead of their own hair. That way they don't have to take their hair clips in and out.
Yeah, they just keep the hair clips on the wig, and they take the wig off and like
Yeah.
put it on the wig head, and that's how they store it.
So
I think that's so smart.
If I have a bunch of Mr. T stickers all over my body or anything like can I is Mr. T Decora possible?
I'm sure you could do.
You would have to
whatever.
Yeah, you could do it for sure.
I'm on board now.
So you need to custom order some hair clips. Custom order some hair clips with Mr. T. Probably a t-shirt with the theme. Some bracelets. Like, do you know like bead bracelets? Like spell out, Mr. T.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Or like arm warmers in the color scheme of whatever design you choose.
All right, I'm getting into it. So like I'm gonna have my some brass knucks with glitter. Left will say pity, right? We'll say fool.
Love
Yeah.
that. Honestly, the vibe. You would be so popular in Harajuku.
I think they'd love it. They would really love it.
Yeah.
I think so too. You'd probably be stopped for pictures all the time. Oh, this is this is a little bit off topic, but it's about J fashion. When I go to Tokyo, sometimes I notice people taking pictures of like me or like J fashion girlies.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's a really big problem, especially after COVID. Because before COVID, it wasn't really that big of a deal. To be fair, I wasn't really decked out as much as I am now whenever I go out. But it's like, I didn't notice it as much before COVID as I do now. It feels like a whole bunch of people forgot that Harajuku, like, style. There's still people who are wearing it, and they're not, like, there for entertainment. They're there because they enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
And I just think that that's something that needs to be talked about.
Yes, that's a huge problem, especially with tourists. I think after COVID and with, you know, Japan kind of taking over social media during all the lockdowns,
Yep.
a lot of people are learning about Japan still and are here for the first time who may not even know that Harajuku fashion exists before they got here. So they see someone dressed really ostentatiously and they feel entitled to a photo because it's like not every day you see someone dressed in like all like bright pink or whatever. But like I've been out in Lolita in Shibuya, I think, and this lady took a photo of me like taking a drink of my coffee, and it was like not a nice photo. And I told her you could have just asked, and I would have posed for you. And she was like, her reasoning was just like, "But you look so cute." I'm like, it doesn't matter. I didn't want my photo
Yeah,
taken.
no,
Like
that's
it doesn't matter what you think I look
yes.
like. I did not consent to that.
Yep.
And she's like,
I'm
"Oh, but you
not.
look so..." Like she didn't even apologize. Like she didn't realize she did something wrong.
She realized she was being a creep, and that's why she started getting defensive.
Yeah.
Like I'm not confrontational. If I see it happen, I just walk
I'm
away.
super
I'm
confrontational. I've
scared.
given someone the finger in their video.
I'm so afraid.
There's a scene.
Maybe it's the American.
There's a scene in Kamikaze Girls. I'm just gonna say that, but anyway.
Yes.
I think it's because I'm American, so I'm like, oh my gosh, but what if they like stab me?
Oh god. No, I would stab them right back.
Stab me.
Pull the knife out and no. So
that is
in
so
Harajuku,
funny.
like twice a year, I think there's an event called the Gothic and Lolita Market. It's basically like a little artist alley event of like smaller, like individual small businesses, handmade brands who go and sell their stuff. And there would be like a huge line of Lolitas out the door. So tourists going by, they're all like taking photos, taking videos, and like it just made me super uncomfortable because like I was waiting in line and someone was just taking a video as they walked past. So I just gave a finger and they're like, "Why?" And I was like, don't do that. like that's weird.
Right.
Yeah. It's a weirdo behavior.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Last time I was in Tokyo, I went to the store. It's called ACDCrag. It's pretty popular. And they just had a new location open. And so I stopped by because I was interested, you know. And I go in and there are these I think they were British, but they were just like they had their phones out recording the clothing that was hanging there, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like it's because like I'm pretty sure they have like a photo booth area, you know. And so like recording's probably fine, but it's like why are you recording everyone in the store while you're recording this? Like I just don't understand that. I don't understand the need to like record or take pictures of things that I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just having a great time. I'm trying to be
No. They're entitled assholes. It's okay. No. They're entitled assholes. So like, if you took your camera out and you took your phone out and you started recording them and you gave a little voiceover, here's an entitled asshole that feels like God because they have a camera in their pocket. They're not very happy that the tables have turned. Look at that frown. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, they're not happy at all. Oh, it's just a picture. Oh, you look so cute. Fuck you, asshole. Like, how does it feel? So, yeah.
It makes me so mad when I can tell someone's trying to take a sneaky photo of me.
Yeah.
Like, and like the thing that makes me sad is I've noticed, like, there's a difference whenever like some rando guy is doing it. That's a totally different thing. versus like a girl who's clearly interested in like the fashion, or like just a person in general who's interested in the fashion, and they're trying to take a picture of me because clearly they either like my outfit or like the vibes or something. It's just a completely different vibe, but I'm just like, you can ask me. I don't think I look very unfriendly. I think I look pretty friendly. I've yet to have someone genuinely ask me to take a picture with them or like ask to take a picture of me.
Yeah.
Except for like living out in the middle of nowhere. Like I live in the middle of nowhere, so like Japanese people, sometimes they'll ask. But like in bigger cities, no one ever asks. They just take.
Yeah.
They feel entitled, like you said. They feel entitled to take pictures of me, and I'm like, please
Yeah.
don't do that. Super frustrating.
Part of the problem is like the commodification of content in general. Like, oh, I gotta
Yeah.
put this on my story, or oh, I gotta put this on TikTok, or oh, I gotta post this. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's never that. Like, it's never worth more than the person you're violating.
Yeah, like it's not
It
that
really
serious.
isn't.
No, for real. Like, I just, I hate. Like I said, I feel like I'm pretty approachable. I am a 160 centimeter girly in a frou-frou dress, probably eating like snacking on a milkshake or something. I don't think I'm that intimidating.
Yeah.
There's people, there's I don't know if I want to call him out, but well, I guess I'll ask him later. The theme is consent, isn't it? But yeah, Dan Ryan on Twitter. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him, but he takes a lot of pictures of people, and they're smiling, and they're, it's always a consensual photo, and like I think he probably gets a better photo.
Mm-hmm.
As a result,
Exactly.
he takes pictures of people all the time, but he also asks them.
And honestly,
first.
most people will just be like, "Oh, sure," and pose when you ask.
Right.
And if they say no, then
especially
they
if they're
say
dressed
no.
up.
Like, it's not. You're not gonna die if you don't get a photo of a woman in a frilly dress. Like, it's not.
Right.
But like the thing is, like, it's a lot of the girls, all they want is like people to ask before they take photos, because they would love to like pose for the photos. They would love to like show off their really nice, really expensive, really cared about
Yo,
clothing.
like, do you know how
That's
hard it
something that
is to get a
they're-
nice outfit photo on your own? Like, please take
Right?
my photo for me.
Yes, exactly. Like, I would love to be approached by someone to be like, "Can I get pictures of you?" Like, that's literally one of my dreams, like to be walking around Harajuku and being like, "Can I get a fit pic?" Like, yes.
Like, even just like as a regular person, I've had people try to just take my picture, and like I've always just been like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, what are you doing right now, homie? Because it is and like I think some people will take the excuse of like, "Oh, well, I'm a photographer." And like,
they call it,
okay, you're a
photographer.
Yeah. Again, you can still ask. You can either ask or you can get a model.
Right.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Photographers also need to get consent. Like, I don't. That is not a valid reason.
And like some people are like, "Yeah, but I want to like get the candid," and it's like, okay, take the candid and walk over and show them and ask them if it's okay. Like, like if someone did that to me and I saw that it was a really cute photo, I'd be like, okay, that's fine, because you actually came up and was like, "Hey, I took this. Is it okay if I post it? Should I delete it?" Like, just be considerate. On a slightly more positive note of that, I have noticed more like J fashion brands like taking in like, what are they called, like ambassadors. And the ambassadors aren't needed, they don't need to have like lots of following or anything like that. So a lot of people who just really love J fashion, love posting about it, are getting opportunities that, they probably wouldn't have otherwise. And I think that's really awesome. Like NOÉMIE and Dear My Love have both been doing that. NOÉMIE's been doing it for a long time, but I think that's really awesome.
That's a really good way to build community too.
There's a couple of people that I follow on Instagram and they follow me back, and they are ambassadors for NOÉMIE, and I get so excited for them whenever I see their posts about it. I'm like, "Yes! You're doing so good."
That's really sweet.
Yeah. So something that I wanted to ask, we were talking about the cost of these pieces of clothing and fashion, and like something just on a practical side, I guess, is like how do you take care of this stuff?
It
Like, how
Depends
often do you
on the
clean it? How do you clean it?
depends on
How do you
set
store it?
stuff.
Every
Uh-huh.
single thing is different, and also every person is different. So
Uh-huh.
some people will buy it, wear it with the tags still on, wear it to one event, and then sell it for a little bit less than they got it. And then, like, if they add the accessories, then they bring up the price. And then that's how
Mhm.
they are able to continue the cycle of, like, wearing the stuff. You do not,
Uh,
like, don't get me wrong, though, you do not, at least me, maybe I'm just gross. I do not wash my stuff after every single wear, because a lot of times I'm just wearing it to, like, get some photos and feel good. I'm not going out and having, like, a whole day in it. I'm just getting it on because I
mhm.
want to feel good and, like, take some pictures.
Not taking it to the gym.
Good luck with that.
Oh my gosh, I can picture it now. You with your frilly skirt blowing in the wind on the treadmill.
Me and my frilly skirt with my pitiful breast nuts. Yes, they are the source of my strength.
You're honestly making, like, an idea that I feel would go pretty
I think
viral.
people would love it.
I think
I
so
would
too.
wear
And if
some
you're
brass knucks. Wait,
well,
that's illegal. Okay, faux brass knucks. I would wear.
plastic
Yes,
brass
yes, yes,
knuckles.
yes, yes,
But
yes,
also,
yes, yes.
like, you're, like, really sweet, so I feel like you're, like, approachable
Aw,
and you wouldn't mind, like, taking pictures of people. I say we start a YouTube channel where we go and dress you up and take you to Harajuku for a whole
Please,
day.
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I am so dead ass when I say I will literally go to Tokyo for this.
like if you can make me look like Tuxedo Common, yeah, Tuxedo Common. I need the hat. I need the hat. I need the cape, and I need the cane. And the
I
brass
keep
knucks are
telling
obvious, but yes.
every single person that I know that doesn't dress up in, like, J fashion, I'm always like, I'll give you $100 if you let me dress you up.
Please. I love making people over. Also, if you please,
Same.
Sam, if you do dress up as Tuxedo Common, please do the little swirl he does of the "my job is done here" meme. I need it. I need it in real life.
I'm sorry I didn't ask before,
Mhm.
Pingu, but your pronouns?
She, her, them, they, either
Oh, okay.
any, whatever is fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I meant to ask
Okay.
that at the very
What are
beginning.
yours?
I'm okay with any primarily she, her, they, them are
Okay.
used for me.
Twinsies.
So you dress mostly in EGL?
Not so much recently, just 'cause time
Ah.
limitations and the weather. But yeah,
Yeah.
primarily EGL in terms of, like, which
Mm.
J fashion sub-style. Yeah.
Mm. We should meet up and do a style exchange then, because
Please
I'm, like,
do.
definitely more on, like, I love, like, I'm having Gyaru Summer this summer. Like, I'm literally on Mercari, and I'm gonna be ordering, like, a whole bunch of, like, older, like,
Oh
Gyaru
my god,
clothes.
hot Gyaru Summer.
Yes, exactly. Sam, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you know about Tenshi Kaiwai?
No, not at all.
Probably at least seen it somewhere.
Is there a movie? Can I
No, it literally came
skip
out,
the
like,
book?
it started becoming popular, like, within the time of the pandemic. It's,
Mm,
pretty much what I would classify as, like, the newest, like, subculture
Mhm.
in J fashion.
what is it? What are its characteristics?
White and blue. It is, like, all about white and blue. There's two sides to it. There's, like, angel side, because, like, obviously, like, Tenshi Kaiwai is, like, angels and, like, of the sky, so, like, blue and white. And the other one is almost, like, cyberpunky, like, but only blue and white. It's, like,
Mhm.
kawaii cyberpunk in a way. If you know the user, Capsule Bunny, she
That's.
wears Tenshi
I was
Kaiwai.
just about to say. I was just about to say.
Yep.
I'm trying to go to images.google.com and like in the second row, there's
Yeah.
Capsule Bunny. Yeah.
So me and Capsule Bunny have met up a few times now, and she's so sweet. I love her. But I
Mhm.
cannot escape her. I try to, like, look up, like, on Pinterest, like, all my
Oh my
interests and
god.
stuff, and it's it's like constantly just like a picture of her, and I'm like, you are haunting me.
It's everywhere.
Don't show her your Pinterest, or she'll think like
I'm stalking her. I actually
right.
tagged her like almost a year ago. I was like, I cannot get away from you, because it was a whole page on my Pinterest that was just pictures of her. So, but she is the one who, like, I feel anyway, at least on a global scale, I feel like she's the one who's been like leading the whole like Tenshi Kaiwai like popularity, because I didn't even know about it until like she explained it to me, and a lot of my friends who are into J fashion.
Yeah, so to wrap things up, yeah, influencers, bloggers, where can people see some of this stuff online, connect with people online, etc., etc.
Like I said, Capsule Bunny. Also there is someone Blue
On Twitter and
Lavender.
YouTube.
Yeah, on Instagram it's Capsule Bunny. On Twitter it's Capsule Butt, like BUTT. And there's also on Instagram Blue.Lavender. She is really, really awesome. She does like Ryosangata, but it's blue and white instead of pink and white. So yeah, I feel like it's like very different, really, really nice. She's also really, really sweet.
Don't ask her what she showed up to a Twitter space I did randomly a few months ago, and she was the only one in the audience at the time, and I was just like, "Hi, how you doing? So what's a capsule butt?" And she left. So don't. That's we don't talk about that, okay? Don't ask why. I don't know why. I'm comfortable not knowing why for the rest of time.
Immediately after this podcast, I'm gonna send her a text and be like, "Hey, what happened?"
Oh, for EGL, I first of all recommend like the hashtag EGL community. It's where everyone posts their outfits. You can find someone with a style that you like and follow them from there. As for like individual influencers, I don't know if they're influencers, but like they generally just like post a lot of outfits. I like Stacks on Blues 89 on Instagram. And who else? I'm trying to think. What's her name? Lovely Lace and Lies.
Interesting. Nice alliteration.
I'm literally gonna look right now.
It's all one word. Lovely Lace and Lies. They're on Instagram. They make a lot of like short form video content about EGL. Yeah, I think those are the two that I guess recommend.
Okay.
I would also,
but there's so many people because there's so many different styles. Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a little homework and just like get you to send me a list. We can do a part two. But yeah, like just names and things to put in the show notes for people. So
I would like a disclaimer real fast. If you are looking into Jirai Kei Ryosangata, please be careful. Make sure that you have like safe searches on, because that community is also part of the like eating disorder and self-harm community. It's kind of like the emo of J fashion. So if you're looking up stuff about that, please make sure that you go to like an actual person who does its account and then look at their hashtags or whatever. Do it some way, roundabout way like that. I know it's a little bit more complicated, but it's a lot better mentally.
Yeah.
Let's preserve that mental health, everybody, while we're enjoying our J fashion.
On that note,
on
that note, refrain from looking at just the Lolita tag.
Yeah. I actually believe it's banned on TikTok and Instagram now.
Oh yeah. So you want to just look up EGL community. That's the safest way and the most authentic tag that people use.
Thanks for spending some time with me. Thanks for giving everybody the content they've been asking for. Thanks for helping me get canceled and losing my sponsorship. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for letting us info dump.
Yes, it was so fun. I could talk about this all day, but
honestly, hours, weeks, months.
Right.
Come at me.
Literally.
Thank you for listening to the Tokyo Tea Party podcast. Thanks as always to Blep and Pengu for gracing the podcast with their presence and for the crash course in couture. Vibrant tropical salsa and rhythm of Havana, courtesy of Toontank and Pineapple Music. Did you enjoy today's episode? Give this episode a like, share it with your friends, or leave a comment. If you find this podcast episode especially valuable, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Tokyo Tea Party Podcast, all one word. Thank you. I've been your host, Samuel Darbuz. Be easy, y'all. Mina, Genki dene. Peace! Zoolander, the god. If you want to see like a really old 90s comedy, not sure if it's politically correct at all anymore. I don't think anything from the 90s, pretty much everything from the 90s is almost guaranteed to not be politically correct
The
at this
90s
point.
was a tough time for everyone.
It sure was. It sure was. Like fucking O.J. Simpson interrupted Power Rangers for me when I was like 7 years old. And I was like, and I don't think I ever saw the resolution of that episode.
That could be what's wrong with you.
Like, the whole black community was supporting OJ, even though like he clearly did it. Like the whole black community was like, we have to be behind him. And I was like, fuck OJ. Fuck OJ. You ruined my life. But anyway,